Career transitions are not difficult because professionals lack intelligence. They are difficult because professionals move without clarity, especially high-achieving corporate women. You are capable, you are strategic, you are used to making decisions that produce results. But when it comes to career transitions, something shifts. The usual confidence becomes uncertainty. The usual clarity becomes emotional tension. And in that tension, many women make decisions that feel right in the moment, but create complications later. Let's anchor something important first. High-achieving corporate women do not burn out because they are weak. They burn out because they are misaligned. And once misalignment becomes clear, movement becomes necessary. But movement without strategy creates instability. And instability is often the result of a few predictable mistakes. Today, I want to walk you through the 3 biggest mistakes professionals make during transitions. Not to criticize, but to help you avoid patterns that quietly delay alignment. Let's start with the first mistake. Moving before clarity. Moving before identity clarity. This is the most common. You feel discomfort. You recognize misalignment. And your instinct is to change something externally. Apply for roles. Explore opportunities. Consider leaving. But internally, the most important question remains unanswered. Who am I becoming? Without that clarity, every option feels uncertain. You look at roles and think, this looks interesting, but I am not sure. I could do this, but I do not feel convinced. And that uncertainty creates hesitation. Or worse, it leads to choosing the next available option instead of the most aligned one. This is how misalignment repeats itself. Different role, same internal tension. Because the identity question was never addressed. Identity clarity is not a luxury. It is a requirement for intelligent movement. Without it, transitions become reactive. Without it, transitions become reactive. With it, transitions become directional. Now, the second mistake, confusing urgency with readiness. This one is subtle. When discomfort builds over time, it creates pressure, emotional pressure, mental fatigue, a strong desire to change something. And that pressure can feel like readiness, but they are not the same. Urgency says, I need to move now. Readiness says, I understand where I am going. Urgency is driven by discomfort. Readiness is driven by clarity. When professionals move from urgency, they often skip important steps. They leave before they are positioned. They transition before they are prepared. They choose speed over strategy. And speed without clarity increases risk. But readiness slows down the process. It allows for preparation, positioning, thoughtful decision making, because the goal is not to move quickly. The goal is to move correctly. Now, the third mistake, treating transition as escape instead of repositioning. This is where emotional reactivity becomes most visible. When a role becomes misaligned, the natural instinct is to get away from it. Escape the environment, escape the pressure, escape the discomfort. But transitions driven by escape focus only on relief, not alignment. So the question becomes, how do I get out? Instead of, how do I move toward something aligned? That difference is critical because escaping removes you from the current problem, but it does not guarantee alignment in the next environment. Repositioning is different. Repositioning asks, given who I am becoming, what kind of role aligns with that identity? What environment supports that direction? What move strengthens my trajectory? Repositioning is intentional. It is not reactive. And intentional movement creates stability. Now, let's bring these three mistakes together. Moving before clarity, moving before identity clarity, confusing agency with readiness, treating transition as escape instead of repositioning. All three are rooted in one thing: misinterpreting discomfort. Instead of diagnosing it, many professionals react to it. And reaction, while understandable, often delays alignment. Let's go deeper. Why do high-achieving women fall into these patterns? Because you are used to solving problems quickly. In leadership, speed is often rewarded. Decisiveness is valued. Execution is respected. But career transitions require a different skill: discernment. Discernment is slower, more reflective, more intentional. It requires sitting with uncertainty long enough to understand it, instead of immediately resolving it. And that shift can feel uncomfortable because it is different from how you typically operate, but it is necessary because transitions are not operational decisions. They are identity decisions. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine trying to navigate with a map that no longer reflects the terrain. You can move quickly. You can make confident decisions. But if the map is outdated, speed only takes you further in the wrong direction. Identity clarity updates the map. Without it, movement becomes misdirected. This is why the RTS method is structured the way it is. Realign, transition, sustain. Realign comes first because clarity reduces mistakes. It answers, who am I becoming? What no longer fits? Where is the misalignment? Then comes transition. This phase is strategic. It focuses on positioning, timing, execution, and finally, sustain. This ensures that your next chapter remains aligned so that you do not have to repeat the same transition again, because success that costs your identity is not sustainable success. Let's bring these together practically. If you are currently navigating a potential career transition, pause long enough to check three things. Have I clarified who I am becoming? Am I moving from urgency or readiness? Am I trying to escape or reposition? These questions shift your mindset. They transform reaction into strategy, and strategy produces better outcomes. Let's recap. The biggest mistakes professionals make during transitions are not about capability. They are about clarity. Moving without identity clarity, confusing urgency with readiness, and treating transition as escape instead of repositioning. When these mistakes are avoided, transitions become smoother, more stable, more aligned. If you are a high-achieving corporate woman in this season, you are not behind. You are in a moment of recalibration. And recalibration, when done well, leads to elevation, not disruption. In the next video, we are going to answer very practical question many women carry. Should I pivot? Should I shift? Or should I recalibrate? Because not every situation requires the same type of movement. And understanding the difference helps you make more precise decisions. I will see you on the next one.